Hello and welcome to this short video message about Practical Action's new updated gender policy and something we are calling gender minimum standards.
Practical Action believes that men and women have the same basic human rights, including a right to an adequate standard of living, health and education. Men and women should have the means and freedoms to achieve their rights, including the ability to choose and use technologies that will assist them in leading the kind of lives that they value.
But Practical Action also recognizes that gender relations and inequalities are the fundamental causes of poverty. Women and girls do not enjoy the same status, power or access to resources as men and boys. We want to change that. That is why as an organization, we are committed to ensuring equitable access to technology for all women and men. We want to advance gender equality and women's empowerment through all of our work.
The people talking to you in this video are members of the Gender Working Group, a collection of staff across Practical Action's offices. For the past few months, we have been looking at how Practical Action could improve its gender approach. Today, to mark World Women's Day, we would like to make two very special announcements.
Firstly, we would like to announce the release of a new version of the organization's gender policy, which explains Practical Action's commitments to consider gender in its programs, its policy advocacy work, its external communications, and its own internal organizational development.
The policy is just 2 pages long and is very easy to read. A link for SharePoint will be sent to all staff, so please have a look and understand what will be expected of everyone.
We are not just a gender working group members, we also have day jobs working for Practical Action's offices just like you. We know that a policy document on its own rarely changes the way we work unless we understand what it means for our day-to-day work. So we have been thinking about how we can help our friends and colleagues to understand how to go from policy to practice.
We have thought especially about how we could improve our approach to gender in our projects so we can live up to the commitment made in Practical Action's gender policy. To help, we have come up with 4 very short minimum standards on how to approach gender in our project work in each of our 4 themes: energy, DRR, agriculture, and urban water and sanitation.
Each minimum standard is just 3 pages long. Each one starts out with an explanation of what the typical gender issues are in that theme. It then goes on to describe the 4 or 5 things we need to make sure happen in our projects to ensure we improve both men's and women's relational and material well-being. These are our minimum standards, the gender issues we need to think about in all projects, and the gender indicators we need to look at in all project monitoring and evaluation.
Our second special announcement is that these 4 gender minimum standards are also available on SharePoint from today. But to make sure everyone understands how to use them, a member of our gender working group will hold sessions in your office and take you through them in more detail and answer any questions you might have.
Practical Action's vision is of a world where everyone has access to the technologies they need. To achieve that, we need to think really carefully about gender in all of our work. We hope these new minimum standards will help you to think through how to do this in your work.
We have developed these standards with help from Practical Action's global groups. So a wide range of staff from across the different countries and regional offices have contributed their knowledge and expertise. We would like to thank all the staff who have helped us to get this far.
We know that these standards are not perfect and as we start to use them, we will work out ways in which they could be improved. Our aim is to use them for 1 year and then to ask you all about your experience of following them and how they could be improved.
At that point, we will also look at expanding the standards to look at other forms of social exclusion, such as disability, age, or ethnicity. We are introducing these ideas gradually rather than all at one time to make it as easy as possible and to avoid confusion. We hope this works for you.
These are the minimum standards for our gender work. If you feel that you'd like to do more than that, then please do. And we from the Gender Working Group would love to hear about your experiences and learn from them.
Indeed, the Gender Working Group's task is not finished yet. During the coming year, we will be monitoring how these standards are being used in projects and evaluations and checking whether people need further support to understand or implement them.
So, from today onwards, we expect all new projects to be designed with these gender minimum standards in mind. And if you can include some of the ideas from these standards into existing projects, that would be even better. We also expect future project evaluations to look at the achievements of projects against gender minimum standards. Thanks once more to all staff across Practical Action who've helped the Gender Working Group draft these new standards.
Let us get gender right on our projects.
Let's get gender right in 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 our projects.